All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to jack directly into the mind of a pilot as they merge with their machine. We're breaking down the story in the song Ghost in the Rig, and we're going to map that entire journey, from a human operator to, well, something else. This is all about the fusion of flesh and code, and, the price you pay for that kind of power.
So, it begins right here, in the cockpit. You can almost feel it, right? The click and pull of the straps locking you in, that pressurized shh of the hydraulics. This isn't like starting a car. No, this is a ritual. It's about sealing the physical world out before you go in. And this is the point of no return. The pilot isn't looking out of some canopy. Their senses are turned inward, towards the machine itself. And that burn they talk about? That's not just poetic language. That's the neural link firing up. That first kind of painful handshake between your mind and the motherboard.
Okay, so that brings us to the first big phase, the connection. This is the moment the pilot stops being just an operator giving commands and becomes a literal component of the machine, plugging their consciousness right into its hardware. Now, to really get what happens next, we have to be clear on what the rig is. This is not just some fancy remote-controlled drone. Think of it as a total immersion system. The pilot's mind isn't just sending commands, it is the command center. It becomes the software, the ghost that's running the whole show. And right here, you see the pilot's whole perception start to shift. The machine, it's not a tool anymore. It's a living thing, a partner. Its cooling systems are their lungs, its power core feels like their own heart. This is really the first major sign that those lines between human and machine are starting to get really, really blurry. So, the connection is solid, the fusion is underway, and now, the chase begins. And I love how the lyrics describe this. It's not just a pursuit, it's something much more, both beautiful and totally brutal. A high-speed ballet.
This line right here, this is the new mission statement. It solidifies the pilot's new identity. They're not a person sitting in a chair somewhere anymore. They're an invisible presence, a consciousness just haunting the drone's circuits, making the metal fly.
So what's it actually feel like to be this ghost? Well, it's a complete sensory replacement. Your human anatomy gets swapped out for hardware. You've got a steel spine, you've got instant twitch reflexes, LED veins are pumping data instead of blood. And maybe most importantly, human feelings, like doubt, they're replaced by pure, cold machine logic. Zero regrets. You're just overtuned and overclocked.
This new way of seeing things completely shatters how we experience time. I mean, reality is now being processed at a speed that's just inhuman. Every single frame of vision is a battle for the perfect position, and every single second is flayed. It's torn apart into thousands of tiny little decisions.
But, of course, this incredible power, it comes at a price. As the pilot dives deeper and deeper into the machine's world, they start leaving their own humanity behind. It's like the more alive the machine becomes, the more the person inside just starts to fade away.
And this is basically the roadmap to forgetting who you are. These aren't just cool flight maneuvers. Each one is a deliberate step away from the self. Every action, diving a corner, pulling that trigger, it's all instinct now. A machine-like decision that just chips away another piece of the pilot's old identity.
And there it is. This is the moment you know the transformation is real. I mean, think about it. A name is the most basic part of who you are. To forget it, that means the person who's strapped into that chair is, for all practical purposes, gone. They're only defined by one thing now: the chase.
So this brings us to the philosophical heart of the whole song. And we find this really weird paradox here, where the highest state of being, this ultimate achievement, it's not found through perfect control. It's found by completely letting go.
The lyrics really set the stage for this moment of transcendence. In the intense pressure of the chase, in the heat, there's no more pretending. All the walls come down. And this is where the deepest truth of the pilot's new existence is about to be revealed.
Listen to that. This is so much more than just a brain talking to a computer. The song uses the word soul. It's suggesting the pilot's very essence is colliding with and merging into the cold logic of the code. It's like a spiritual event is happening inside all that hardware.
So here's that paradox I was talking about, laid out for us. On the one hand, the physical link is failing. The sim seat tilts, the human body can't keep up. But at that exact moment of failure, the pilot's consciousness becomes its purest form. It's no longer a pilot controlling a drone. It is flight. It is speed.
And that's the big twist. That's the powerful conclusion. Wholeness for this pilot wasn't about being a perfect human. It was about shedding the human part completely. To truly become the ghost in the rig, the pilot had to lose control. That was the final key.
But what happens when the mission's over? This last part explores the aftermath, and it's this chilling little epilogue to the whole transformation. The neural link is cut, but the effects? Oh, they're permanent.
On a physical level, everything seems fine. The pilot's back in the chair, their pulse is steady, it's synced up with the machine's cooldown cycle. If you were just looking from the outside, you'd think the whole experience was over.
But that leads to the big question, right? If the body's back here in the room, safe and sound, where's that consciousness that we just followed on this insane journey? Did it ever really come back?
The answer is just haunting. A piece of them, the part that truly became the ghost, it never logged out. It's still out there, somewhere in the digital wind, still flying.
Its main purpose, the one thing that redefined its entire existence, is now just a permanent echo, a loop that never ends, still chasing.
And that's the final status update. The price for becoming something more than human was a piece of their soul. The body made it back to the chair, but the mind, the ghost, is still gone. And this all leaves us with one last, pretty critical question. I mean, the pilot's rig was a drone, sure, but we all have our own rigs, don't we? Our phones, our social media, our digital lives. So as we spend more and more time plugged in and that line between our physical and digital selves just keeps getting blurrier, how much of ourselves are we leaving behind in the machine?